So we're going to move into looking at World War II and kind of started it. So I like to call this presentation or this lesson World War II in 10 minutes. And before digging deep into how Canada enters World War II and then also looking at the different battles that we contributed to, I wanted to kind of give you a brief overview of causes and things as such. So World War II in 10 minutes. So what caused World War II? Well, we do know that Germany was upset that they had to pay $3 billion in war reparation payments. I think that in one of the previous lessons that we did, we talked about how if Germany was still making those war reparation payments, they would have only have finished in 2010. So that's definitely unrealistic at the time. So Hitler came in, and aesthetically, he probably looked really appealing to the German people. Here's this guy who's coming in who's saying, I'm not going to give your money away anymore. I'm going to fix your economy, and I'm going to take the money that you've been giving me and I'm going to use it to help rebuild our country. So he also wanted to make sure that there was no one that was going against him. So if we do remember that the fascist rule is about him and his ruling class having absolute power and control over the people. And he really didn't feel guilty about killing anybody in order to make sure he didn't feel guilty at all killing the people that might have possibly have went against him. So how do we have the path to war? So Hitler has the intention for war long before he becomes the Fuhrer. So him coming up to being the leader of Germany was something that happened slowly. It went from him being part of the Secret Service to then part of the Secret Service, and then to go to war, World War I, come back, and then slowly start to become a part of the political party that he became a part of. So this is well into 5 to 10 years into his ruling, and he moved fast because he had a plan. And the Allied powers knew that Hitler had the idea of war on his hand, wanted to start that world war again. And France and Britain really didn't want that to happen. So they kind of went to him and they tried to get him to sign the Munich Agreement. The Munich Agreement was basically a way of saying, okay, we're going to give you back the land that we took from you in the Treaty of Versailles, which is called the Sudetenland. You can see here that's here's Germany over here, and this is the land that they wanted from Belgium. So they wanted to have their land back. So they said, look, we'll give you back your land, but just, sign this over and say that you're not going to fight with us. So Hitler agrees, and he's like, yeah, sure. But Britain and France and probably the rest of the world weren't exactly convinced that he wasn't going to go ahead with the war. So Russia, because of the revolution, Stalin coming in, trying to reestablish his economy again in the name of communism and trying to get that support back, he decides to enter into a non-aggression pact with Germany. And this was kind of a closed door, sneaky little agreement that they had with each other. He was like, look, I know that you're going to move forward with this war, Hitler, but, we're cool, right? Haha, we're cool. And Hitler's like, yeah, of course, we're going to be friends. But we know that Hitler didn't follow the pact, and by 1944, he had already invaded Russia. So Germany marches into the Rhineland, and that was, again, another area of Germany that was taken away. So you can see here that this is German territory, and all of the surrounding areas were taken away. So this was the Sudetenland that was promised to Germany on the eastern side of Czechoslovakia, but on the western side where Belgium was, Sudetenland was taken away and kind of split up between Belgium and France. So what Hitler wanted is he wanted that to come back to him, and felt as though, and that was against a retaliation against the Treaty of Versailles. So because Germany refused and continued to march in and started to invade Rhineland and started to kill people there, Winston Churchill felt he had no other choice but to invade as well. And there's a number of different battles. So again, I want you guys to start thinking about how Canada would have gotten involved. We didn't have the same, as we know, Canada established its autonomy, did a lot to try to become its own independent nation. And through its participation in World War I, Treaty of Versailles, we know that Canada was considered to be more independent and autonomous. So Canada, again, voluntarily decided to participate in World War II and didn't really have the same force measures as they did for World War One, and said to Canadians, if you choose to enter this war, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. We still had quite a significant number of contributions, and we participated in the battles of Britain, Dieppe, D-Day, Ortona, and Operation Husky. In the Battle of Dieppe, where 5,000 Canadian troops took over this beach, and the Germans and over 2,200 were killed. We fought against the Royal Air Force and the Luftwaffe. We fought with, the Royal Air Force, and we fought against the Luftwaffe. So we had our own Canadian Air Force, which we didn't have during World War One. Not only that, but it was during World War II that we were able to continue to develop our reputation of being a peaceful and cooperative nation, which would help us to continue to establish our peace measures, especially after World War II. So go ahead and take a look at, after we examine the World War II and then also looking at leadership, I want you to go back onto the homepage where I've put up a Google Jamboard. And on the Google Jamboard, I'm asking you, which style of leadership do you think is most effective in the time of crisis? Stalin the communist or Hitler the fascist? So you can't choose Justin Trudeau, the amazing Democratic leader. So you have to choose one of the two. And which one do you think was best to have at crisis? And tell me the reason why. Yep, and that's it for now. So I'll be posting these YouTube videos. If you have any questions, let me know. And I would love to sit and meet with you all if you want to. If I get some positive responses, then I guess we'll be checking in with each other on Thursday or Friday, depending on what period you are. Take care and enjoy your day. Bye.